Right. Good evening. And I've had a bit of a failure just a few minutes before I came to where I was going to come up with the Pluto, which I was going to talk about. I'm still going to talk about it, but my ATEM has crashed, so all my switching has gone into disarray. But anyway, I'm Neil, VK3RTV. This is the Amateur TV Net, which is on every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And tonight we have Watching Richard, VK3VRS, who's also streaming on YouTube and also on Discord, and Mark, VK3PI, is also checked in. Shortly we'll be going across to Peter, VK3BFG, on RTV1, and then we'll be bringing it back to me, Peter, when I'll talk about this Pluto, which I've been using for most of the week. Except I can't really demonstrate it as best I can because of the switching arrangement, but I might try and turn it on later. You can watch the net through VK3RTV using a set-top box is the best way to do it. It's the most interesting way to do it, so if you can do that, it's great. Otherwise, watch it through YouTube or Discord. So if Peter is ready, we'll switch across to Peter on RTV1. So please, everyone now, switch across to RTV1. And Peter's not quite up. I see his splash screen, but hopefully he'll be up soon. So take it away, Peter.
Okay, I think I'm there. I'm Peter, VK3BFG. Good evening, everyone. I'm just looking at my local monitor on the camera, which is faulted, and my shirt here is all red. Well, there is a little bit of red there, but it's showing a bit off-putting. But I'm seeing that the actual camera output is okay. So yeah. Well, we've been doing a fair bit of work over the week, and also watching with interest a whole lot of experimentation going on with Pluto, which is really, really cool, and it's great to see people up and trying to extend the situation. I do have two old Plutos here, but I've never been able to get them to work past about 3 megasymbols, something like that. But I believe the later ones are okay, and I'm sure Neil will be able to talk about that as well, because he was one of the guys I saw up experimenting with OBS and the Pluto. I've been working on VK3ER's ATV transmitter at last, and we've decided to go back to just taking a HDMI feed off their switcher, as we couldn't seem to resolve the network situation for the ports down. So I do have a very nice little Raspberry Pi here with dual fans on, and I've got a Lime SDR Mini in a printed case, which has come out of the VK3 transmitter. Now, I'm not sure what they aim to do with it, and I'm sure that members might be getting first option on this, but then it may come to pass that it's available. It's got the ports down for software on, so if somebody can run OBS and with a capture card, and this, they would be on the air pretty quickly. So it's a bit of a turnkey one, but I have to wait and see what the club wants to do with it. So it's here for the moment. So I've been working on the club transmitter, which is just over here, and one of the reasons for going back to a HDMI feed is a very generous donor has sort of permanently loaned a Hyde's DVT exciter, and we've also got a 150 watt PA as well. So I'm going to interface all that together. Of course, the 150 watt PA will just cruise along, which is really good. I don't think there was enough power in what was available with the existing powertrain, but it may be okay just as is. So we'll certainly try that out. So I'll show you what we've done, and I'll show you the 150 watt PA with a little bit of shaky cam. Let's see, oh, you can't see that too much, so we'll take this off the stand. And you can see there I've mounted the hides unit here, and that's a little control unit there which will key the system on from a remote control via an RS232 line here, which is coming in here. I'm also switching that RS232 line to the RS232 port, which is just down there, so that I can program the hides without taking the lid off this thing. And I need a bit of flex cable, which I will get, or have on order. And you can see there's a Mitsubishi module, and that's the 60 watt PA, which is it's an old FET, and whilst it's a 60 watt PA, I would think probably 10 to 15 would be absolute tops out of that, if not a bit less. I think we're getting about 10 okay when we're just running DVS. And down here we have the, I'll just take the lid off if I can. Yeah, there we go. Very, very nice kit. It's a single FET, it's not one of the dual FETs. It's a single one. It's got a gain of about 15 dB. We won't be running it to 150 watts. We'll probably tickle it with half a watt or something like that, and that will run very nicely. And it's mounted. It's mounted with some nice dual fans down the bottom here. So it's a work in progress, and it'll be really great to get the VK3 back on ATV. Stephen VK3RTV has been kind enough to relay their transmissions from picking up from Zoom, but it's a radio club, and it's much preferred to be broadcasting and transmitting. So hopefully that won't be too far away. Probably won't be able to get to it this weekend, but probably by the next weekend maybe. So there's a little bit of interfacing to do to get those things working together. Both of the PAs, by the way, are keyed by the gate. Certain FETs need a bias all the time, but these ones, if you zero bias them, they just cut off. So that's a way of controlling the power out with minimum effort there. So there we are. That's basically a little bit of rundown on what's going on, and you can see my shack and my monitors up here, where I've got two of them, one on RTV2 and the other one on RTV1, and that's my ATM switching there. So that's it from me. I think we're going back to Neil. So just pardon the shaky cam while I put the camera down. There we go. And we'll key off to our call sign, and it'll be back over to RTV2 with VK3BCU. Cheers all.
Right, we're finally up, and I think we've got audio, and hopefully the audio is in sync. You might just mention, John, is the audio in sync? VK3RTV, 3BCU, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, it is low, but it looks like it's in sync.
Okay. Unfortunately, using the Pluto, which is a very versatile piece of equipment, it's a nice little SDR transceiver. You can run it using SDR console. You can run sideband, FM, AM, right up to about 5.7 gigs. And I have actually used one of these and had contacts on 3.4 and 5.7 gigs. You can buy them on AliExpress. I can get it switch across, and they're fairly cheap. And that's from a place called Open Source SDR Labs, and that's the place to get one of these. Now, they come without a case, hence they're a lot cheaper than buying one with a case. And the one I'm currently transmitting on as we speak is a B version of the original Pluto B version, and that's what I'm actually running right at the moment. This is a C version, so really good bit of kit, and takes a little bit of setting up. You can go onto the VK3RTV website under equipment and software, and there's all the instructions on how to reload the software and get it running. So all I'm doing is basically running OBS and streaming via the USB into one of these and then into an amplifier. So not very expensive, so nice little toy, and you can use it for other things apart from ATV. So I'm going to show you a little video later on that Rob IE transmitted into the repeater to show you how good it actually works, and it works really well, although it is a bit disconcerting watching myself coming back on the repeater, which quite a bit of a delay. That's the problem with these. The streaming does delay the signal even more than the normal delay you get on the repeater. So coming up soon will be Mick VK3CH, and if Mick, if you could put it across to John VK3ATV, and then John back to me, and I might just finish up on the little Pluto here, just in case I forgot something. So really great little bit of kit, the little Pluto. So take it away, John VK3ATV, sorry, Mick VK3CH. I'm on it.
Okay, alright, so we're there, and audio, yes, plenty of audio. Alright, g'day everyone, VK3CH Mick, Doncaster location. Alright, haven't been doing a lot during the week. Actually, I've been doing a lot, but not ham radio. I've got too many people pestering me to do things for free. It's sort of becoming a problem actually, but anyway, I've been writing a bit of code, trying to fix up someone's website problems. If any of you know what FileMaker Pro is, somebody wrote a huge database and they used version 6 and they're no longer with us, so I've been tasked with fixing it all up and making it go again, and then they want to put it on a website to make it all searchable. And I even got pestered last weekend. They had a dinner with a few people, and there's these women that don't know much about technology, and they just keep thinking, I know. So what? You can do this in a month or 2 months? How long? No, actually, they're just trying to collar me for a date, and I'm just like, mate, I'm just doing it when I can. And they just seem to think, well, all you got to do is type on a keyboard. How hard can it be? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so you almost feel like you're being paid big dollars, like some sort of consultant, when you know it's just all, you know, what time you can donate. Alright, I've been watching with interest the Pluto and hearing bits and pieces on the liaison frequency as I've been driving around town. I hear some of it, not all, and of course, whenever the radio is scratchy, the XYL wants it switched off. She doesn't like this sort of staticky stuff, so she wouldn't like HF at all. Yeah, so there you go. What else have we done? We updated the IC 905 frequencies, the television frequency changeover. Just a few amendments there that didn't take too long. And we've printed up a new, laminated card so that I know what frequency I'm on. I probably don't really need to do that because it's all in the memories, but it's just good to have the reference in front of you when you're out up at King Lake. What else? And I put a question email out where to get some good cable for the Pluto when I do run it. I notice I can buy lots of cables that look very skinny black, and even when I put in high quality cable they still look cheap. And everything MSY seems to sell looks sort of, basically cheap. Unless I go there and ask the guy. He's pretty good, the guy up at Mitcham. But yeah. Anyway, I've got to get a Pluto first. It's not in my hands. That's the first time I've heard the comment, Neil, about a little bit more latency involved. Probably because of the way it's being streamed across. But yeah. I suppose the seeing will be in the doing, but there you go. And I'm writing an article in the newsletter, but I'm sort of writing it in advance, so what I can find on the internet and what I've been supplied by a couple in the group, I've sort of created something, but it won't really happen until I actually own one. That's about all I've got. I believe I'm handing it now over to John, VK3RTV in Williamstown. So that's about all from me, and we'll catch you next week. I'm on tea, so that should be an easy change out.
slides if you want to get onto turnkey. And this is my little pride and joy, which is what I use on the net, which is basically a modulator going into a mixer and an oscillator through a filter and then the amps there. So, and they're both remote controlled. I can actually turn them on anywhere in the world as long as they're connected to my internet at home. Oh, and this is one of the down converters. If you want to monitor yourself on DVB-T and put it into a set-top box, you come in at 1200 megs, mix down, and you can monitor yourself on DVB-T locally. And that's similar to what's at the repeater as well. People will talk about that. So that's basically it. If you think you're going to modulate, if you're doing S, that'll work fine. But for T, just the domestic tuner, you're going to have to go through a down converter.
Yeah, there's two.
Or if you want a simplex as well.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's one of the Chinese amplifiers in there. There's a little up converter to convert from 12 volts to 24 volts or 28 volts. There's most of you are probably familiar with the little Chinese 10 watt amp.
There's some information in here regarding RTV, but I'm not sure that it will be helpful, but it's helpful for me. So that's my Bible, which has got a lot of information. Both of these here are receivers that we can use at RTV, and they have surgery on them. The first surgery is simply some method of detecting the incoming signal. So that was pretty easy to detect that with a bit of a comparator circuit and a little relay there. That relay simply closes a contact which tells the main controller that there's a signal there. So that was pretty easy. Then we get to this sort of a device where, I was able to get into the IR line there, but the actual signal that comes up on the display is integrated. The display is integrated, and there's not just simply an on-off type signal. So I was just probing around with a little driver IC there, and I found a pin that changed when the signal came in. So main controller is an RS-232 line.
And portable, just how I've got a little battery box set up. I'll probably turn it around this way for a second for everyone. Come and have a look. It is a bit of mess inside. Solar input, 50 amps Anderson. It's got lots of USB-Cs and cigarette sockets and stuff like that on it. So nice and flexible for plugging in any bits and pieces of equipment. It did have a 120 amp hour battery in it, but that's sort of part of my talk that I'll be doing later. We'll go through that one. This is just a little SAW filter. The SAW filters are quite customizable, different frequencies. You can get them off AliExpress. This is a little board I designed to put in a little case. So you can actually have, say, a 446 megahertz bandpass to help filter out things like mandanidon when you're trying to actually amplify the RTV signal. So that can come in handy. And this is the main sort of talk. I'm going through and I'll do a talk on KiCad later. This is my transmitter. So all in one, computer power supply, computer case. So my idea behind how I built this, and I did do a talk on the actual board on ATV a couple of months ago, but the reason why I did it this way is I wanted to use common computer parts because they're quite easy to find, cheap. Everyone's probably got an old computer case laying around, and they're metal, so great for RF shielding. So based on that, and they also have a standby power supply. So when this is actually off, so long as you've got power to it, it powers up the network switch and the main controller. So then you can just use API commands to actually turn your transmitter on remotely. So that's the gist of it. Standard DVB-T modulator, mixer, just the normal method. If you can see underneath here, because I haven't done the back plane, the actual power amplifier is mounted under the power supply here. So that is a complete transmitter with power amplifier all built into it.
Hides, just as you buy it. Probably the fastest and easiest way to get on with one of those and an amplifier. Whether you go with a smaller one, depending on where you are, or you go with one of the Chinese ones, which we've discussed before. That'd be from a computer running OBS or vMix, or just a straight camera, or Even if you've got an analog camera and that's all you've got, you can get one of these converters, and that'll be your HDMI in. Or you could go analog straight in if you so desire. It gives you some options. Anyway, so what I've done here, basically I've just put it in a case because they are very sensitive to static. So please, if you're looking, don't actually touch the line because it's static off the carpet. But yeah, very simple. Just turn on the power to the amplifier. You use the ports down as your actual device to do all the, I suppose, translation to put it through to your line. With the ports down, they're very flexible, so you can use one of these, a HDMI input.
For those who may not be familiar with good taps, elbow-sized, gizmo in the centre there. Just put that along to show you. So far, I've only transmitted the test card, courtesy of the use of Peter's antenna. I haven't tried any audio through it yet. The little sort of rather untidy looking boards here are for thermal control of the Lime SDR cooling and switching the PA when you go to transmit to avoid the spikes that come out of the port sound 4 when you transmit, which can destroy the Lime SDR, I'm told. And a power supply underneath. Bit of a dog's breakfast, but I thought, well, I'll put it together like that at first, and if it works, I'll
do it. You need to obviously create a library as well for that one, but not that hard really. So yeah, only needed for custom components. Lay out the virtual properties of pin numbers. So it doesn't have to be drawn like if you've got a DIP package, you don't have to draw it like a DIP package with 4 pins down one side and 4 pins down the other. You can make it look neat. So your VCC's up the top, your ground's down the bottom. Your
this talk demonstration.
You've only got a
that we might have satellite input.
no doubt. No, but yeah, I can give you a little bit. Yeah, okay. That's not going to happen.
So that's
the other way.
It'd be common.
Inside of that, you can see the water on the other side of the fence. So that's a great
Right. I've switched across to T, so have a nice clean changeover. Except my camera's not come up yet. Why not? Delay. Okay, yeah, that was great, John. Sort of brings back memories of when we had our last meeting. Hopefully we'll have another one very, very shortly this year. They really work out well. So I'm on T at the moment, that's why it was a nice clean cutover. So getting back to the Pluto, which myself, Rob VK3IE and Joe VK3TT have all been playing with this week. So if anyone wants to start playing with these things, they're not very expensive and you can use them for other things, not only ATV. You can go to the RTV website, and a lot of the information is on the RTV website. So this is VK3RTV. It's hosted by Jeff VK3GE. If you go to Equipment and Software, just in the left-hand corner, click on Equipment and Software, and then go down to the bottom. There's information on how to set up the Pluto, information on putting in all the parameters and reloading new firmware, so it'll work on DATV. So that's the rtv.com website. You can speak to myself, Rob VK3IE, or Joe VK3TT, and also Dennis 3YH has been playing around with it as well. Don't think he's got his going, and Bob VK3, got his call sign now, memory lapse. So there's a few of us you can talk to if you want to play with the Plutos, and as I said, they're useful for other things as well. So that's it for tonight. It's been a great night. We've got 17, 18, 20 watching on YouTube, so that's great. So thanks for watching, everyone, and please tune in next week. See you all next week. Cheers.